down in Whoville lighted Christmas balloons. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, he did not. Now the Grinch hated Christmas. The whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. There was 3 reasons. One, it could be that his head was screwed on wrong. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all was that maybe, he may have been, likely reason for all may have been that his heart was how many sizes too small? 2. Wow. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown. Somebody make a sour, grinchy frown.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh,
Layla's got a good one too.
At the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Somebody snarl with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. Dang it, it's practically here. Then he growled. Somebody growled. With his grinchy fingers nervously drumming. Grandma?
Yeah, Grandma, nervously drumming.
Nervously drumming.
Nervously drumming.
There you go. Tomorrow is Christmas is practically here. Oh, I read that. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early, they'd rush for their toys. And then, the noise. Noise. And that's one thing that he hated, was the noise. Okay, next one. Then the Who, young and old, would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beef, which was not something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. Next page. And then they'd do something he hated least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand together with Christmas bells ringing, and they'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas song, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with this now. For 65 years I put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Then he got an idea. You have that movie? Good, well listen. Okay, then he got an idea. It was an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do. The Grinch, he laughed in his throat. Then he laughed in his throat. And he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked. Let's hear a chuckle and a cluck. What a great Christmas trip, or Grinchy trip. With his coat and his hat, I look just like St. Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around. But since reindeer were scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog. Then he took some red thread and tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags, some old empty sacks, on a ramshackle sled, and he hitched up old Max. I thought we were passing around the Grinch. Then the Grinch said, giddy up, and the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark, white snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. Then he came to the first little house on the square. "This is stop number 1, the old Grinch's claws hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present: pop guns, bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorns, and plums, and he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox. How do you think he slunk? What's a slunk? He slithered on the ground, maybe?
Yeah.
He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beef. He cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who had. And a fish? Uh-oh. Where are you at, Brooke?
Standing coming down the chimney.
No, this one.
Or he stuffed him up the chimney.
Yeah.
He stuffed up the tree. Well, did I skip it? Okay. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove. Then he heard a small sound, like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou Who, who was no more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who had got out of bed for a cold cup of water. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?" But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie and he thought it up quick. "Why, my sweet little tot," I think Santa Claus lied, "there's a light on the tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop. I'll fix it up there and then I'll bring it back here." And this fit fooled the child. Then he patted her head and he got her a drink and he sent her to bed. And then Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup. He went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for the fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and wires. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was so small for even a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 1/4 dawn, all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, the tinsel, the trimmings, and the trappings. Next page. 3,000 feet up the top of Mount Crumpet. He rode with his load to the tip top to dump it. "Hoo-hoo to the Who's," he was grinching and humming. "They're finding out now that Christmas has come. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two." Somebody opened their mouth a minute or two.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, "Boo-hoo!" Okay, Brooke, next page. "That's a noise," grinned the Grinch, "that I simply must hear." So he paused. And the Grinch put one hand to his ear. One ear to his hand. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low and started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was very merry.
Mary Berry. Mary Berry.
He stared at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes, and then he shook. Okay, pop your eyes and shake. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without rag tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled, wow, for 3 hours, till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And before it was only 2 sizes too small. Then the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys with the food for the feast. And he, the Grinch, he himself, the